All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Gems of War video. In this video, I have for you my strategy guide for the invasion. The invasion event is one of the 5-week-long rotating guild events, and I consider this to be the easiest of the 5 events. This video is designed to give you all the tools you'll need to excel in the invasion event, regardless of the current event's restriction, which is always a troop type. As this video is recorded, the restriction is monsters, which means my options of troops are restricted to monsters, but there are no restrictions on either my hero class or equipped weapons. In this video, I'll focus on the amount of towers you need to defeat to do your share for your guild, how many gems you should plan on spending in the event shop, and how to build teams for the invasion event to send all the towers toppling. Each day during the event, you will receive 4 battle sigils and can gain more battle sigils from the Val Ravens as well as the event shop. Battle sigils carry over from day to day, however, once the event is over, any remaining battle sigils will be lost and you will begin the next invasion event with a new stack of 4 battle sigils. To complete the event with all rewards earned, your guild must defeat 17,500 towers, an average of 584 towers per guild member if your guild is full. If you want to complete your share of the event, you'll need to purchase the first 3 tiers from the event shop for 250 gems. These 3 tiers will not only include 1 copy of the event captain, as well as a new legendary tier weapon, but you'll now have the requisite number of battle sigils to get your share done. I also recommend purchasing tier 4 for an additional 250 gems. This will give you enough copies of the event captain to ascend the event captain from epic to legendary tier. From there, you can either use an orb of ascension to ascend the event captain to mythic, or obtain the requisite copies by purchasing tier 5 and tier 6 for an additional 850 gems. So let's take a closer look at the event captain. The event captain for the current invasion event will have twice the normal magic stat. In addition, if you have at least 1 copy of the current event captain in your team, your score will be doubled. The reason why ascending the event captain to mythic is important is because the spell damage multiplier versus towers increases from 3 times to 5 times based on the captain's rarity. The strategy is straightforward. Use the event captain, ascend to the mythic, against an enemy tower, and do cubic amounts of damage. As for the traits, if your event captain will be in your team's first slot, you must unlock all 3 traits. Once you get to stage 8, you can guarantee that the skull damage that you inflict will be to towers, and the third trait multiplies skull damage to towers. Unlike the magic buff, all former event captains with the Siege Breaker trait will get the same skull damage boost as the current event captain. So, if you already know that you intend to use one of those in your first slot, this event captain may not need to have their third trait unlocked. However, I always recommend activating all 3 traits so that the event captain will count as a fully traded troop when it comes to increasing the relevant kingdom's power. There are 8 stages in the invasion event, and you progress through each stage personally in the same manner as the raid bosses. Stages 1 through 7 must be completed 5 times each, and then stage 8 will be repeated until the end of the event. The icon on each stage that looks like a chest rook tells you how many towers will be in the enemy teams. Stage 1 has no towers. Stage 8 will have enemy teams consisting only of towers. You'll also get rewards for completing stages 1 through 7 that will be sent directly to your inbox. One additional note about the towers. When you see the towers on the enemy side, always look for towers that use blue and brown mana. These towers have a trait that greatly reduces spell damage, and I always recommend taking these out with spell damage, preferably first. So for most events, I like to draft 2 teams, early team and a late team. The early team is the one I use when the enemies are very weak and I just need to power through as quickly as possible. And the late team is for when the enemies are stronger and I require either a more durable team or a more focused team to ensure that I win. For this restriction, there are no troops or hero classes available, at least as of this video, that give monsters a 50% mana start. I would usually start drafting my team with one of these when they're available, but for this specific invasion, doesn't apply. For the early invasion team, I'm using a DPS weapon, in this case the Ruby Monkey. Other DPS weapons, such as the Dawnbringer, can be used in its place. The whole premise behind this team is to charge up the weapon, cast it, win, and move on to the next battle. I selected the Titan class because it is one of 13 hero classes that grants my hero an automatic 50% mana start. Some of the other Titan class traits start the battle with a Dust Storm, gives my hero a Stone Link, which grants an extra mana for brown gem matches. I don't usually do this, but I'll leave the team share code in the comments below if you'd like to review my trait selections in more detail. Naturally, the Horusite Champion is on the team to double my score. This troop is completely mana blocked by the Ruby Monkey, but I will not need to cast any other troops for this team. The two Sphinxes are on this team because each of them has a Stone Link, and the Blackhawk banner gives me 2 brown links, 1 blue link, and an irrelevant penalty to purple. In total, this team has 5 brown links, 1 blue link, and that will keep my Ruby Monkey going all the way to stage 8. And I typically switch to the late team at stage 8 when I know all the enemies live in towers. I'm starting off with 2 copies of Sharptooth, which is a previously available siege breaker. Sharptooth does single damage and has both a 30% chance at an extra turn and a 30% chance to get all its mana back. The last time we had an invasion event with a monster restriction, the Sharptooths basically chewed through every tower they came across. Horusite Champion is still only on my team to double my score, and possibly to use its spell if it is charged and the Sharptooths are not. My hero is now using a Dervish class that still summons a Dust Storm and now counts as a monster for the purposes of the Stonecutter weapon, which explodes all brown gems, granting a random status effect to all monsters, and summoning a monster troop in the unlikely event that the towers kill anything on my side. The Urskaya banner grants my team 2 stone links, 1 red link, and a meaningless penalty to purple. Most of my invasion late teams will look something like this. 3 siege breakers, though usually all different, and of course including the event captain, and my hero holding a mana generator weapon. One final note when drafting your late team, remember that the towers will be immune to negative status effects. That means the Elementalist class and even the Wand of Stars might not be as useful as you think, so you might want to save those for another event. So let's review. Buy up to either tier 3 or tier 4 so that you can do your share of the damage for your guild. If you're in a good guild, you should not need to buy any other tiers. Send the event captain to Mythic, get the event captain up to level 20, and unlock all 3 traits. When building your team, look for troops and hero classes that can give your team a 50% mana start, and other available troops with the Siege Breaker trait. Build a fast team for early battles and a more meticulous team for later battles, and take out the towers that have spell damage reduction first. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of my content. And in the comments below, leave any tips for the invasion event that you think I may have missed, and I'll see you in the next video.